Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and happy Wednesday to you all. So, guys, I wanted to chat with you all today about losing yourself, which leads to finding yourself. And, guys, this can be in so many different ways. This can be losing yourself in a relationship or a marriage, or losing yourself in general. Like, did you lose your job? Did you lose your business and you're just on your face? I mean, completely on your face to the point that you look in the mirror and you don't even know who you are because you've totally lost yourself. Well, there's some good in that. Let me just say, hold up, there's some good in that. As difficult as that is, especially if you're going through it right now, you probably can't see any good, but there will be good that comes out of it because you truly will find yourself. You will be rebirthed into the individual who God, created you to be, not who you yourself, you most likely you yourself, you have become successful in your own right and you have done everything with leaving God out. So you became successful, but at the same time, it's not what God created you to be. So sometimes he will strip you in order to rebuild you, and it's a grueling process. So let's just start off by saying, we'll start off with speaking about losing yourself in a relationship or marriage. Well, I'm sure some of us have been there, if not the majority of us, where, we fall in love or what we think may be love at that time. And we don't even realize that we're doing it, but we're giving so much to that individual that we don't even realize that as we give to them, it's depleting us, slowly but surely. And before you know it, one day you wake up and you've literally lost yourself and it sneaks up on you. And then you're looking in the mirror one day when things are going sour in that relationship and things are really going bad, or, if you guys decide to go your own separate ways and you're now trying to figure out who the heck am I? Like, your self-esteem is to the ground. You don't even know where to start. And because you're so low, you may not even be in love with this person any longer, but because you're so low, you have an emotional attachment to this person. So you still want to try to work things out. No matter how toxic it is, you want to work things out. And it's all because you have a toxic bond with them, an emotional bond with them, a soul tie with them. So you're completely lost, you're completely gone, and you just feel like if you can make it work with them, that will help you find yourself. No, truly it's going to be worse, because as long as you stay with that person, they know where you are. They know that your self-esteem is down. They know that you've lost yourself, so they're going to use that to their advantage. So as long as you stay, they're going to further deplete you, and before you know it, you're going to be to a sunken place, a place that's going to be extremely hard to get back up from. So sometimes when these relationships start to dissipate, sometimes it's God. Sometimes it's God removing people from us, because again, like I always say, sometimes we choose these individuals, and it's just because we're just doing life on our own. We just think that, okay, I'm in love, so yeah, you're not even thinking about, like, okay, did God send this person? Honey, we just gone. We just in love, honey. We ain't got time to think about who sent them. We just gone looking for them with a flashlight in the daylight, honey. But when God is ready to start promoting you or start dealing with you, he will start to, cause these relationships to dissipate. And it feels like torture. It feels like a punishment, because you're in such pain and agony that sometimes you can't even think clearly. You can't even think like, okay, could this be God? No, you're probably blaming it on Satan. Satan, get out of my house. You're probably burning sage. Get out my house, Satan. And all along, it's God. It's God ending these relationships in order to help restore you and help get you back to the person that he always needed you to be. And so once you break away from that relationship, or, when God ends it again, you've lost yourself. So it's like, what do I even do? Like, you're going to be at such a low point that you don't even know the first step. All right, so let's start there, right? We're still at the point that you've lost yourself. This is relationship. Now let's talk about losing yourself as far as losing your job, losing your business, all that stuff, right? So it's going to all tie in together at the end of the day, because it's still the common denominator and the common seed is you lost yourself. So now let's say you've lost your job, the only job you've ever known. Like you've put so much blood, sweat, and tears into, this job, and you was the employee of the month, and they would call you when someone called out, and you were always the one to be there. So you were invested into this job, invested. So you just knew you would always have it until you retire, right? And then something happens. Maybe you made a mistake on the job and they fired you. Or the job filed bankruptcy and they had to, furlough some employees. And you were one of the ones. And then you look at it and realize that the people who didn't even do half of the stuff that you did were the ones they kept. Or the new ones that came in who may have been 20 years younger than you, they kept. But it overshadowed everything you've done for this job, and that's extremely hurtful. That's the same thing as a relationship. You really invest yourself, and just to turn around and, not be appreciated or lose the person or lose the job. All right, so now what do? You may have some funds to tie you over. Maybe you don't. So now you've lost your job. Okay, you got to deal with that whole thing. Now these bills are coming in. Now your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, may now start to give you a hard time because, you probably was the breadwinner of the family, and now no money's coming in, and now they leave you for whatever reason. Maybe you're just snapping at them because you're under so much pressure, or maybe they were just a vile, person who wouldn't stick around because you're at your lowest point. And if that's the case, be thankful that God got rid of them. If they left you at your lowest point, be thankful that God got rid of them. But fast forward, you're now at your lowest point. You have no job. Okay, you're probably hiding in your car because it's going to get repossessed. Everybody left you. Your wife, your husband, they took the children, whatever. Friends then fell off. And you're at your lowest point. And as time goes on, you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, who am I? So, all right, so now we got the person who lost a relationship, got the person who lost their job and their home and all that stuff. So now you're at your very lowest point. This is the time that probably will be the most difficult time in your life, or one of the most difficult time in your life. Because at the beginning, you're kind of going against the grain, okay? It's tension. Because the place is so dark and it's so heavy and it's such a vulnerable place to be, you will find yourself trying to go against the grain and get back where you were. If that means to that old person, if that means trying to explain yourself to that job, or, asking them for a second chance, you're going against the grain because you feel more safe at that place. It's all you know. You are comfortable. You are content. So it's easier for you to fight against what God is doing. And so you try to go against the grain to get back where you were. Well, I'm going to tell you this. If it's God's doing and God intentionally let it happen because he's truly trying to take you higher, you can fight all you want. You're going to wear yourself out. You're going to wear yourself out. And it's okay, because God won't leave your side that entire time. He's going to allow you to keep swimming against the stream, against the waves. He's there. He's watching you, trying to do everything in your power to get back to that old place, because you're hurt, you're broken, and you just want to get back to that place of being comfortable again. Even if it's toxic, it was comfortable because it's your norm. And there's going to be a time at the beginning that he just sit back and watch. He's going to be protecting you all along, but he's going to watch you. And finally, there's going to become a time. It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be a year, it could be longer. Depends on how soon you finally get the message and you say, okay, obviously this thing ain't working no more. There's nothing I can do. Okay. So if you don't get to that place yourself to be like, okay, God, What is it that you're trying to do? What is it that you're trying to tell me? And there's a possibility you may not get to that place because, again, you're in your flesh. You're just trying to figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. So he will watch you. And then the time will come that you will get so tired that you literally have nothing to give. Literally, you have no fight. And even though your mind is telling you to fight, your flesh is telling you to fight, you're so tired, you truly, truly can't swing another day. Like you just finally take the last punch and now you're down on the mat. That's when God will come in. And that's when he will come in and scoop you up. And because you're so drained, because you're so depleted, because you're so vulnerable at this time, that's when you will be able to hear him clear as day. Because by this time, he done snatched everybody from you. I mean, your friend's not answering the phone. And, relationships done fell off. Some may still be there, but he won't allow that person to be available to you most of the time because he is trying to get you to lean on him, to develop a full relationship with him versus people. He needs you to get more intimate because this is a time where he is going to be pouring into you about where he's taking you, why he had to do what he did, and you will start to see. And once you start to see what he's doing, you will not have a desire to try to go back any longer to that old person, that old job, or that old thing. Because now he's showing you what he has prepared. He's letting you know, listen, I didn't mean to hurt you, okay? I'm sorry, it hurt me to hurt you, but I had to snatch these things away because if I didn't, you would remain here for the rest of your life. I'm trying to give you more. So now that I have your attention, I need you to trust what I'm doing, okay? Don't worry about the heartbreak of the relationship or the friendship. Because see, you're focusing on the fleshly side of this. Oh my God, the person cheated on me or they betrayed me. That's the fleshly side. So what happens is we're focused on that pain and we just want to get them back and we just want to retaliate, and that's Satan because our flesh just want to. And I'm honest enough to say and transparent enough to say, like, listen, I used to be that person. You hurt me, I'm going to hurt you double. That's the Virgo in me. You hurt me and the loyalty in me, You hurt me, I'm going to get you back double. But when I learned truly that when you decide to take your hands up off of it, God's retaliation to that person, maybe not even retaliation, that's just the word I'm using, but when God deals with that person, I promise you it will be so much bigger than what you could have done to retaliate. So leave your hands up off of it. Don't even worry about that. But he will remind you that, okay, yes, this person hurt you. Yes, this person betrayed you. Yes, this person did that. But I don't need you to focus on what they did. I just need you to focus on it had to happen. It had to happen in order for the relationship to dissipate. Because I've given you signs to leave. That person cheated on you in the past. That person shows you signs of disloyalty in the past. I've given you signs. You wouldn't move. You wouldn't do it. I tried to give you the easy way out. Give you the signs early on. You didn't do it. So now I had to come in and allow a hurt so bad that you would never take yourself back. Let it be a relationship or the job. It had to happen. Don't focus on how it happened. Just know it had to happen in order for me to get you to the next level. All right, so now you're in this middle process of God's have your attention. He's showing you now the vision he has for you, or that he's showing you, hey, I have a better person for you, or I may just need to be working on you. Don't even worry about a job. I'll take care of you. Don't even worry about a relationship because I need to clean you up. Because I have a husband, I have a wife for you in the future, but I got to work on you for a minute so you don't get yourself back in the same thing that I just pulled you out. You end up with a toxic person because you chose yourself. So let me work on you to figure out, why are you choosing these toxic people? Why are you choosing people who are constantly hurting you over and over? you're the common denominator. So let me work on you right quick. Not even right quick, but let me work on you. So that process could be either him working on you, him starting to open doors immediately. It just all depends on where you are. I know in my process, I needed to be cleaned up. So doors didn't shut and open immediately for me. He needed to work on me. It's like, okay, yes, I've given you a big heart, but you're helping too much to the point that you are letting yourself, lack. You're helping the wrong people. You are actually you're really being a hindrance to. I need certain people to find me on their own, but because you're always there in my way, I can't get to them. So he had to start working on me. And also I had friends who were much more spiritually inclined than I was at the time. So anytime I was going through something, I would call them. Hey, this happened. What do you think God says? What do you do? And I was going to them for the answer. So he had to work on cutting off those relationships. And that was extremely hard for me because I'm not a person that have a lot of friends. I never was. So any few friends that I have, like we've been friends forever and we share a bond that's like no other. And he wasn't cutting the relationships off in a strife type of way, but just like that person was always so busy, or that person may have been going through their own thing at the time where we just were disconnected. So I couldn't even call these people at my lowest points to get answers. And it's all because he wanted me to lean on him. And that's how I started to build my relationship with him to the point like now I don't need to call anybody. Like I go straight to the source because now I know how to go to. So he had to do that in order to get me to a place where I had a solid relationship, an intimate relationship with him first. Everybody else would be second. There would be revelation. There would be maybe a confirmation, not a revelation. There would be confirmation. And so as time went on, those relationships started to come back together because God got his point across. So once he stripped me, and honey, listen, if you're in that stripping season right now, you know it is the worst feeling in the world. It's the worst feeling in the world. But I promise you guys, the quicker you seek the message, and see, I didn't have anybody at that time to tell me, well, Kizzy, God have stripped you in order to rebuild you. So seek the message. Ask him, what is the message? Again, I was swimming against the grain because I didn't know he was trying to do something in me. I didn't have anybody to tell me that. So I'm telling you, ask him, God, okay, you stripped me. What is your message for me? And again, most times, if not all, it's going to be truly him just stripping you to create in you the person who he always wanted you to be, the person he needs you to arrive to your destiny as, not the person that you've been depending on all your own life. And let me tell you, slowly but surely, when he have your attention and he's telling you to do certain things, obedience and avoiding temptation will be the number one thing that will help your process start to come to an end. He will have you doing certain things. He will tell you certain things. You need to do it. You need to prepare it. Whatever it is, you have to do it because it's preparing you for whatever he already has in store that's going to come. And when it arrives, it's going to literally happen in an instant, overnight, when you're going to be so tired and comfortable in the process of it all. Like, it's just going to happen overnight. That door will just open. But if you're not prepared and doing the things that he has required you to do while you were in that low period, you're going to miss it. You're not going to be prepared for when that door opens all of a sudden. Temptation will come to you more than ever. Temptation will come to you more than ever. But I promise you, if you touch it, you're going to set your process back. You're going to set your process back, but he will always give you a way out of that temptation. It may not come until the very, very last minute. Like the release And the door that will open instead of the temptation that you refuse to touch, it will come when you feel like there's no other option. It's going to be so heavy. You're going to really think like, oh, I have to touch this temptation because there's just no other way. There is no other way. And that's when, if you stay true, boom, the other door will open. So you were able to avoid the temptation. God saw that you trusted him. Boom, he will open the door. When he realized that he can trust you and he see that you can avoid temptation during your lowest moments, that's when he know he can trust you for the next level. It will be the hardest time in your life, but this is all about building that trust in him. So now he got you alone. You have no friends, you have no spouse, you have no job, you have no money, you have no nothing. But you got God. That is when, before you know it, out the blue, literally, when you're not even thinking about the next level, when you're not even thinking about the new door, when you're not even thinking about the new season that's going to lead to your destiny, when you're not even thinking about it because you're so comfortable now in just a lonely season, boom, the door will open. And every single thing that you've been through in that dark season, when he snatched everything from you, everything that you went through will be used for your destiny season, for your forever season. So even though it seems like you're at your lowest, once you get to that place, it has equipped you. It has equipped you because now God can bless you with an abundance of things because you proved to him that if you could have turned down temptation when you had nothing, of course he can trust you now. You were so vulnerable in that season, you realize that people are fickle and that they can leave you left or right. So now you're going to be very cautious about the people that you allow into your life now. Now these people have to come into your life from the spirit. You won't even trust your own pickings at this point. Look what your pickings got you last season. The people that you picked for your marriage and for your friendships, you picked those people, and what happened? They walked away or they left you in your dark season. So now you realize your pickings, honey, means nothing. You're picking, so now in the new season, you're going to allow God to, you're not going to be looking for anyone. Mind you, you were alone in the dark season. So now you're content and you're comfortable with being alone. And God will start to send people to you. You're not out here looking for nobody. God will send people to you. If you ask anybody, 95% of the time, when you see me, I'm alone. I don't care where I am. I can travel alone. I can go into a huge event filled with celebrities alone. And people would say to me, oh my God, I just really admire the fact that you're always alone. Well, that's for several reasons. For one, when you've been alone through your dark season, you realize, you can be alone anywhere and God is with you. Okay, so that brings it to the point that, no, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm alone, but I'm not alone. You feel me? Also, if I am alone, if there's anybody that God needs to send to me in that time, he will. But I don't need any individual to feel like I have to have security or I have to have a friend. When my few friends are with me, fine, we have a great time, but I'm just as comfortable and content with being alone. In fact, I probably prefer to be alone because I'm a thinker, so I'm always in my own head. So if I'm out somewhere, I need to be connected fully to the spirit to hear what God is saying to me. He may use me to tell somebody something or however he uses me, which is just by my mouth. So if I have a friend with me who's constantly talking to me, or we just, doing the girly thing, I'm disconnected from the spirit. I need to be connected 100% of the time so I can be a vessel. However he wants to use me. Does he want to send this fine man to me? And Satan just want me to be in the flesh and see this fine man. All right. But if I'm by myself and I'm focused on the spirit, I can look past this fineness, honey. And I can see your soul and what it is that God needs me to say to you, if he needs me to say anything to you. But I can't do that if I'm pulled with conversation and all that stuff. So I prefer to be alone, truth be told. But so yeah, this video was longer than I actually thought it would be. But when the spirit moves, the spirit moves. So to summarize, I just want to encourage you guys: if you happen to be in a down season because you've lost yourself through a relationship or through a job, whatever, you're just down, you're flat on your face, I promise you, the relationships that God has moved, God moved them for a reason. It's because you choose this person based on looks, money, you had children together, whatever. You chose this person, and this is not the person that God had for your destiny. I understand it hurt. I understand your heart is broken. I get it. Trust me. But it's because we're focusing on how the person hurt us. It's more like, I was loyal to you, I was faithful to you when you hurt me, I had your back when you lost your job, and when all we're focused on that fleshly stuff. But it had to happen. You wouldn't leave, so God had to make it happen where it hurt you so bad to the point where you had no choice but to leave, or the person left you. All right, get over it. Get over it. I promise you, you will be thankful in the future, because God's going to send you somebody, honey, that's going to knock your socks off, and you're going to look back and be like, how in the world did I ever get caught up with this fool? Like, dude, you couldn't even get me on your best day. Like, how did I even deal with you? Like, you're going to regret it. So don't even worry about it right now. I promise you, you will regret it. Not even regret it. It's a part of the process, whatever. But, don't worry about the job that you lost. It had to happen. If it didn't happen, you will be on that job for the next 30 years. God is trying to take you higher and give you way more. He saw how loyal you were at this job. He saw it. They may have not respected it or appreciated it. Or maybe they did. But again, it had to happen. So because God saw your loyalty on this job, you were on time every day, you never called in, he saw that. So guess what? He know he can trust you now with more. So now you're about to get a job making double. So don't even worry about that. Whatever. So now you're in that process. You've been stripped. Don't fight against, I think naturally it's just a process you're going to have to go through. You're going to fight against the current. You're going to try to go back to the old job. You're going to try to go back to the old person. Whatever. That's life. But just know that no matter how long you fight for it, God will not give it back to you. He will not give it back to you if it's not from him and he's trying to take you someplace else. So you can fight all you want, throw your little hands up, fight, honey. But you're going to get to the point where you can't fight no more. That's when he will swoop in. He will give you visions. He will give you words. Everything he will be showing you is about the next level. And then things will slowly start to make sense on why relationships fell off, why you lost his job, because now he's revealing to you and giving you revelation about what's coming next. So because now you see this revelation, now you're slowly but surely building certain things out. Whatever he's telling you to do, courses, or buy this, or study this, or whatever he's telling you to do, you will start to do it because you can see the next level. And once you have passed the test of temptation, because again, it will come stronger than ever. Once you pass that test and he see that how much he can trust you, then boom, the door opens, and now you're at a season where you're close to your destiny. It's your destiny season, but you won't arrive to the destiny just because you're at the destiny season. There's still a process to get to the destiny, but this process is different. It's no longer, it's no longer going against the grain. Everything's now kind of flowing like water. And so you will get to the destiny, but it's just not going to happen overnight. I thought it did, but no, it won't. It won't happen overnight. You still, in the destiny season, you still have things you have to do. God is still building you, but there's no resistance. It's not as difficult. It's more about understanding, patience, all that stuff. So, and he will start giving you things slowly but surely. He don't want to give you everything at one time. Because he want to give you small things to see how you do with it, to be sure that you don't turn back to the old person, and that you don't get too prideful, and that you don't forget about him. And when you don't, he'll start to add a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And before you know it, it's like, oh my God, really, God? And then he will say to you, Job well done. Job well done, my friends. So you guys keep pushing. I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. I know it's difficult. I'm sorry for this long recording. I didn't even realize it would be this long. Almost 30 minutes. Well, you guys have a great one. Whatever you do, do not give up. It will all be worth it in the end. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.